Okay, this is Mr. Sparty here. This is my third winemaking video for my part 3. So there's my wine. Down here you'll see potassium sorbates and potassium metabisulfite. Those will be added. And basically what those do is one of those helps to prevent like bacteria and that type of stuff in your wine, and then the other one inhibits the yeast from fermenting anymore in your wine. And then we've got our icing glass there that ultimately is what you use to clear the wine. Got my hydrometer, some water to top off the Carboy, which I'll get to in a second, and then I've got some things sterilizing. So what I need to do real quick is I'm going to draw a sample, because let me flip over to this for you, because if you look, let's see here, right up here, it says before proceeding, make sure you're at 0.996 or lower. So I'm going to grab a reading, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, I went ahead and pulled a sample. See if we can focus in on here. So what it looks like to me is, let's see if I can get that in there. It looks like it's at 0.992 to me. See if I can hold this still a second so it zooms in. There we go. So 0.992 is what it's at. So we're good to go to move on to the next step. So I'm going to go ahead and give this wine a little sample just to see how it is. And then, not that it matters at this point, but then I will be back with the next step, what we have to do. Okay, so like I said, we're at 0.992, so we're at the level where we can go, so we can proceed on. So if you look down here now, it's saying dissolve packets 3 and 4 into a half a cup of cool water. So that's what I have here. I've already put one of the packets in, so I'm just dumping the other packet in. So they're both sitting over there. Grab a spoon. Just grabbed a spoon out of Star San, and we'll just give this a stir to dissolve it. Alright, I think we're good now. Let's see if I can't grab my funnel out of here. Oh, got so much stuff in here. Hold on a second. Alright. That's been soaking in Star San. Go ahead and actually one more thing I need to do quickly before I do this. I need to go ahead and grab my drill. Okay, another thing you'll see is it'll basically say after you dump these in, they want you to basically stir it vigorously for 2 minutes to get rid of CO2. That's just the way this kit goes. They want you to stir up all the sediment and everything to agitate the gas and everything, so I'll show you how I do it. Basically I've got a wine degasser stick I put on my drill. There's better ones on the market, but that's what I have. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this stuff in. I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of water down here just to rinse it. Not much though. Because ultimately when you're done with this, you're going to top it. Put that back in my sanitizer. Okay, so what you're going to see me doing now is basically mixing this up, and that's all the CO2 you can see here rising up. So that's what they're talking about when they say degas it. You want to get all the CO2 out of this. So you have to do this for I do this for a couple minutes, take a break, and then I come back and do it 2 or 3 more times. So I'll be back when I'm finished. Okay, at this point, about 5 different times I did this for about 1 minute to 2 minutes. So I don't really see a whole lot more stuff rising. This is kind of settling out and still degassing a little bit. I just put this on empty, just so it could still release. But as you can see, this next step is to shake the contents of the isinglass, pour that in, and then stir it for another 2 minutes to degas it. So what I'm going to do is move this back into my tub, and I will degas it there and get this number 5 in, and then we'll go on from there. Okay, so you can see I cut this packet open, so go ahead and pour this in. So this is the number 5 and last step, really, of things you have to add besides topping this off with water. So like I said, what this stuff does is it's the clarifying for it. So this will help clear it out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my drill. I'm going to go ahead and run it again for about a minute or so to stir this up and degas a little bit more, and then I'll be back with you. Okay, so now that we've done that part, you can see it's been stirred up again good. So the next step is what you're going to see down here where it says to top off the carboy to 2 inches to the bottom of the bung, and use cool water to top it up. So I'm going to do that right now, attach it, and then actually I can do that while you guys are here. So I'm going to go ahead and top this off, and obviously this funnel is sterilized, so it's definitely easier with the bigger funnel, but use what you got. So it's said to do it within 2 inches. So what I'm going to do is lift up this funnel a little bit, top it up just a little bit higher, and then put the airlock on it. And then I'll be back. Alright, now you can see I put the airlock back on. I put some star sand in it. You can see here it's about, I still got to push the bung down a little bit, it's still a little wet, but it'll be about 2 inches. Oh, there you can see it rising again. These things got to dry out before they stick, but so there you have it. So what I'll do is I'll recap this whole thing for you, and then we'll call it good for this part 3. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that part 3. So basically what we did was we added the potassium sorbate, potassium metabisulfite. Again, what I said, those were inhibitors from bacteria and to stop the continued fermentation of the yeast. And then we degassed the whole thing, and then we added some of the isinglass and degassed it again, and the isinglass basically is to clear it out. So what we do at this stage is you have to wait about 2 weeks for the whole thing to clear. It doesn't always take 2 weeks, sometimes it may take longer. Last time I think it just took me about 10 days, but once it gets clear, once you can see through it to where it seems like it's crystal clear, then at that point it's ready. So it's not a fine science there, it's just, it's a rough idea for 2 weeks. And then at that point I'll do part 4 where I bottle it. And just to give you guys an idea on the gravity, it started at 1.092, ended up at 0.992. We topped off with a little bit of water, but not much to dilute it. I think it was like 13.32%, something along those lines. We'll just call it 13.3% on average. So you can see with wine you get a pretty good kick there. My first batch I didn't have a hydrometer at that time, so I never took readings. So this time around I took readings and everything, so about 13.3%, and I really like this kit. We loved the first batch, and so I look forward to doing part 4. So watch for that to come out in probably roughly 2 weeks. So cheers.